So many of us grew up with this band, and they're celebrating their 30th anniversary by releasing a double album called Here to Eternity. This is their 12th album. It comes out May 17th, and from Collective Soul, bass and backing vocals, we've got Will Turpin joining me. Hi, Will. How are you?
Hey, doing great down here in Southeast in Georgia here.
And you have a studio down there, Reel to Reel Studios?
I do. I tell everybody it's my legacy. My father opened that studio in 1976. And, I spend a lot of time there when we're not touring or recording with Collective Soul.
So you grew up around there, and you've got to be super busy. I don't know where you come up with all this time because you were just in that studio recording a different project last month.
Yeah, I'm there 5 days a week when we're not on tour. I'm excited. You mentioned we're celebrating 30 years, so it's, my youngest child graduates this year. I still feel like creating and doing a lot, so I've got a lot more time on my hands these days, and I've really enjoyed producing and putting some time into the studio.
Now you're going to be hitting the road, the Summer Camp with Trucks tour. So is it called that because you guys aren't flying anywhere? You're using trucks, or is there a different...
Well, the guys in Hootie actually came up with that name, but to be honest with you, I guess they're talking about the semis with all the gear, those kind of trucks. I don't know, man. I'm going to have to ask them about this marketing on this tour name. It should be the 30th anniversary of all three bands. Funny enough, we all three are from the South, Hootie, Edwin McCain, and Collective Soul, and we all were signed to Atlantic Records in New York City and released our first records in 1994. All three of us did, which is super ironic. We're going to have a bunch of great shows. We're actually looking forward to it. Good friends that, after 30 years, one of the coolest things we have is all these friendships we've created over time, and there are a lot of, it's a lot of great memories. We've seen each other and shared stages, for 3 decades now. So we've seen each other at our best and worst as well, and we all still love each other. So
Bare Naked Ladies is going to be meeting up with you at Fenway Park too.
Yeah, Fenway Park's going to be a big. That's a big moment for everybody to get to play Fenway Park. So everybody's super excited about that, and our Canadian mates, Bare Naked Ladies, will be on that bill.
That's awesome, and we're super excited about Detroit. You guys are playing Pine Knob, June 6th. And this new album, let's go back to that. Here to Eternity, 20 brand new songs. And you guys recorded this at the Presley Estate in Palm Springs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we had a friend of a friend who owned Elvis's Palm Springs house, which he actually spent a lot of time there on his last years. He liked Palm Springs more than Graceland. But they had left it as Elvis had it. So it was in a little bit of disrepair. But we moved in the studio gear, and we set up, man, we set up a really good scene where we could record. The vibe and the, a little bit of a time capsule thing that was there was just, it was super cool for us to be there. The energy was always there for us because we just felt good about recording in Elvis's house.
Well, he's the only other person that's recorded there. He did his Live in Las Vegas album in that house, right?
Yeah, and I think it's another record called Raised on Rock. Raised on Rock, meaning it was a gospel album, like the rock of the church,
Oh, okay.
So he did vocals on there too, and I imagine he didn't record like we recorded. I think he just did vocals there, and they probably had in that era they probably had a mobile truck or something just to run some big umbilical type wires in there and hook him up a microphone, because everything was so, you needed technical things, and it was a different way of recording back in that era. So all we needed was some computer screens, hard drives, and a bunch of musical instruments, basically. I'd like to know more about what he did record there. But yes, we are the only people to record in Elvis's house other than Elvis.
That is really cool. It'd be great if there was some kind of documentary where you could see what they're using and what they're doing. And you guys are putting out a documentary too. Yes,
our documentary will, we're working on trying to get it done. We've already seen the first cut, though, so we're way down the road. And we've been working on this for close to 4 years now, so I'm excited for people to see it. I think a lot of fans know that it's a small-town story, but no one really knows the depth of how long the friendships go and all the stories that we've been through.
So when do you think that's coming out?
I don't know. The earliest it would be out would be like Thanksgiving, pre-Christmas era.
Okay.
And I wouldn't doubt if it was next spring, year from now.
we're on the edge of our seats waiting for that. And hopefully there's lots of Woodstock footage in there. You're one of 5 bands that played both Woodstock 94 and 99.
All right. I knew we were in a small group there, but I didn't know one of 5.
Yeah.
Especially 94. Those were great memories. 94 was beautiful and awesome. And then, of course, a lot of people have seen the documentary of Woodstock 99. And it was definitely tangibly different than 94. 94 was much better and much more fun, peace-loving.
Organic, yeah. I remember having the CD, and I remember when I got the phone call that I got to interview you. I was so pumped because I was thinking about the first time I ever heard Collective Soul, and it's like ingrained in my head. I was 13 and I was on like a school bus. We were going to detassel corn, and they always had the alternative station cranked for us, and we were a rowdy bunch. But Shine came on and we all stopped and we were like, whoa, what is this? And it was huge, like for the rest of our life. But remembering the first time you ever heard it I don't have a lot of those. Yeah, we didn't. No one sounded like us. And part of that recipe on that particular song was there was no drum set. It was just it was programmed on a Roland Octopad. So, yeah, no one sounded like us. And I think that was definitely part of the success. I mean, it stopped everybody from talking, and they were like, what is this, So, yeah, that was definitely part of our success at the beginning. And then, what was it, Mallrats? You guys had Gel on that soundtrack. Like, growing up in the 90s, it was such a cool time for music and alternative rock, and you guys were all over the place, like, right out of the gate. Yeah, it was something we were, we all grew up together, so people think that, we put a band together and all of a sudden things happened, but we all knew each other so well that we had an idea and a real band, and a sound that we wanted to go for. It was already kind of part of us as a band, the true word of a band. We were really a group of friends that found our way to create music. It wasn't a bunch of individuals that knew how to play bass, guitar, and drums. We had a concept and an idea of what we wanted to do. And staying together for 30 years, you have to work together and grow together to be able to do this. And now you're going on the road again, so probably living in tighter quarters than you're used to and making the best of. Well, you mentioned 30 years. I mean, we are used to it. We're absolutely used to it. A lot of people my age are like, how do you do it? I'm like, well, we've always done it, and we still like it. I still like my little bunk on the bus. I'd rather be home, but it's just part of my job. We appreciate the music, and it's such good music. We're so excited about this new album coming out, and it's going to be on vinyl too, right? Oh yeah, I've got it right here. I'm in my room where my record player is. I'm looking at it right now. Awesome. And for those still using CD players, I saw that you're popping some of those out too. Still making CDs, of course, because people still do buy those. Boy, yeah, we've seen the industry evolve, so to speak, in 30 years. So, I like that vinyl's back. It's a really good thing. Oh, yeah, for sure. My first Collective Soul is on cassette tape. Right. They made cassette tape all the way through Discipline Breakdown. I think Dosage was our first record. They didn't make cassette tapes, and that was late 98. This is so cool. Well, thank you so much for taking the time with me, and all the best. You've got this other project too with Reel to Reel Studios, and you have social media on there. That's really interesting to look at, so people can check that out. And I want to thank you, Will, for taking the time with me. And good luck on this tour, and excited for this new album. Right on. Thanks. Appreciate it.